Welcome back to our channel, everyone. TSF Entertainment crew is here in the building tonight. What's going on, everybody?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Yo.
I'm your boy Retro CG, and we're joined by JOJ, Jack of Jordan, Miss Really B TV.
Hey.
And gracing our presence tonight is actually Mr. Juggernaut of Souls. Nice of you to join us.
Good, y'all.
Welcome back to the fam. Welcome back to the panel.
Terrible.
Look, man. Hey, y'all. I'm sorry. I've been on vacation.
You've been on a long vacation.
I accept my corrective action, as they say.
Yeah, you'll get your pip later tonight. We'll get you your pip out to you later. I got to send it to Jack of Jordan's first to review, and then I'll send it to Really B TV to review, see if she has anything she wants to add, and we'll get your pip out to you tonight.
All right, I ain't
That's definitely happening.
It's definitely happening.
I ain't signing it.
So tonight we're a little bit late on our recap. That's probably my fault because I was on vacation last week, celebrating my birthday and everything. So we're here, we're back, we're gonna get recalibrated, catching up on some things. Tonight it's P Valley Season 2, Episode 7, Jackson. I know you guys got some thoughts about this episode, so what's on your mind?
That's a great title name, by the way.
Get out of here. We know why.
What is? Oh Lord. Anyway.
Oh my God.
So I let y'all know
why you said it.
Right.
Of course.
This guy got the hen dog on.
Always.
I'm about to say you know that. You know that.
Always. I got y'all presents too. You have
a present for me?
Yeah, I got y'all presents.
Oh.
Yeah. I give gifts.
Birthday.
Yep. I got y'all presents.
We had two birthdays.
Yeah, we had two birthdays.
We had two birthdays, Really B and Retro. Okay.
Yeah, we got that month of July on lock, you know.
Yep.
Right. We celebrate for the whole month. We celebrate the whole month, so every day in July is our birthday.
We pretty much can though. You got Really B birthday, then you got my anniversary, then we got your birthday. So it's just a whole July bash.
There you go.
Hey, right, what's good? What's good, Abby?
So what's up, Abby? So what did y'all think about the episode? First thoughts. What's on your mind about it? Ebony, welcome you back, Marvin.
Right, I saw that.
So it's not just us that's been missing you. Everybody know you've been MIA.
Right.
Yes, indeed. I've been
I mean, for me, I thought it was a good episode. I'm a little nervous about where I think it's going with some of the characters, but I definitely I thought it was a good episode. I really did. I thought it was a really good episode. It's funny because the main storyline is the one storyline I just don't care about anymore. Like, I really don't care about the pink. I don't care about them selling it, buying it. I don't care anymore. And that's the sad part, because that's like the main part of the show, that this whole thing about the pink and the casino, that is the part that interests me the least. And so, you know.
Well, they're dragging it out is what it is. It's dragging it out because it's a plot point for how the series is going to move forward. But I agree with you. I think they're spending too much time on it. I think this should have been resolved by episode 7 at this point. But it seems like we're going to roll into another season. I mean, we got 3 episodes left, so there's no.
I mean, we haven't even had the election yet. Like they ain't even had the election yet. He done knocked himself out. What'd he do?
I don't know.
He done knocked himself out. Me and you the only ones here. Him and Damon done got knocked out. He'll be back. He'll be back. Well, what do you feel about the episode? Go ahead.
Sorry about that. I had some technical difficulties.
I think the episode. I do like the fact that they're kind of giving the characters their own, backstory, if you will. I do like that. I mean, it's everybody wants Chuckalisa now, so that's kind of, to me, it's just kind of like, wow, like everybody want to step up and be this political force of power in Chuckalisa. I do wish, whatever's gonna happen with the Pink, let it happen. But at the same time, like this past episode, like Uncle Clifford said, basically the Pink is not just some regular shake joint. It was something that was passed down from generation to generation, and basically, that's something he wanted to keep in his family. But at the same time, if you're gonna keep that in your family, some of your past decisions from season 1, you would have made better decisions.
Nah, Ebby, what they did with him is they chopped him up and put him in a river. Because remember the episode where Uncle Clifford was being kidnapped for his birthday? He was spouting all that out.
Yeah.
So they chopped Montavious up and put him in the river.
Yeah.
But as I was saying before I got kicked out, I don't know how that happened. I agree with you, really. I think that we should have had resolution on who's buying the club, who's going to sell it, whether the Promised Land is going to get it, whether Corbin is going to get it, where Clifford's going to keep it. I think we should have had resolution of that by episode 6 at least. We got 3 episodes left. We haven't had the election yet. There's no resolution on who's going to end up getting the Pink. So I feel like this is going to roll into season 3 now. So we spent all of season 1 on it. We spent all of season 2 on it. So I just hope that this doesn't become the recurring theme for the show, because there's so many different directions they can go. And there's so many other subplots that they've got going on and some really good nuances. I really think they should explore that a little bit. But I guess one would say without the club, there is no show.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this.
Maybe that's why they're staggering it out, because if Autumn does sell the club and she gets the $10 million for it, then Uncle Clifford should go and open another club, and we can continue the adventures of the Pink. Because I can't go to the Pink on Saturday night. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I say this. A couple of things.
Don't be shaking your head at me, really. You be down with me throwing ones.
I do. I be throwing ones. I always get you your dance with your girl. I always make sure you get your dance.
Mercedes experience.
Yeah, I got my Mercedes experience.
I make sure he always get. He good.
I think that.
Agree, Abby. Please turn off Pastor Woodbine Water.
Listen, the more I know about this woman, the more I hate her, and we'll get to that with this episode, but. Ciao.
I think that personally, with it coming to an end, a couple of things I want to see. I need to see Derek ass out of here. He needs to die. I want to see this happening.
Agreed, Bap.
I need to see whatever's going to happen.
Derek needs to be unalive.
I need to see whatever's going to happen with the club happen. One thing that can't wait is who's going to be mayor. Damn that. You can drag that on.
Well, one thing that can't wait, and Abby, please send 2 disconnection notices. We might need to send 3 out, because Derek needs to be unalive. He doesn't need to be with us anymore. He needs to leave here and go see his maker.
ASAP.
All right, so the episode kind of starts off with, I wasn't really sure if it was a flashback or if it was a dream, a COVID-induced dream, because we know that Grandma Ernestine is she's sick with COVID, she's feverish, so and she's having what I like to think is a COVID-induced dream, where she's kind of looking back on her life, and we see the history of the Pink from the 50s all the way up to the 80s.
Yeah.
And one thing we noticed that Ernestine was the performer. She was maybe the main headliner for the club. But you also saw in those flashbacks that there was all types of
prostitution,
scheming, gambling.
The Pink was more like Sugar Ray's.
It was Sugar Ray's.
The Pink was a whole house.
Right, but I think that was their way of showing that even when it was a quote unquote respectable club, it always had a level of skin action going on. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
It was always that place where you could get other things, even though it was a regular club. So even before it became just a straight up strip club, I think that was their way of saying, listen, it's always been that, or always had an element of that.
I'm not so sure if I'm interested in wanting to see Derek's family. I think we got
Me
a lot
either.
of those questions about Derek's family when we had the Mississippi episode. We know that his family's kind of disown him. We know the reasons why. I really don't think it's important to the story.
They're racist. They're racist as prejudice. White folk, like rich white folk. Like, we got it. I'm good.
Because they can go too.
They can die a lot too. They can die a lot.
It's unalive. It's unalive, Jack. It's unalive. Buzzword, unalive.
It's dead all of them.
But yeah, and I think we've even heard Ernestine say in the past that the Pink was always considered, or Ernestine's juke joint, that place has always been considered a brothel. It's always been kind of looked down on in the town as being, kind of like where shady stuff happens or whatever the case may be. But the biggest thing we take away from that is it has been in their family for generations. And so this makes it,
it was part of the chitlin circuit. Like, it was the place where Black performers could go. So it was always on, down by the tracks, on the, on the wrong side of town, because that was the only place that Black performers could go and perform.
Yep. And it was also a place of relaxation, refuge, that, the people that were working in the fields, and, they had a place that they can congregate. So it's kind of very similar to Sugar Ray's, Marvin, we can always go back to Harlem Nights.
I was going to say, I'm going to find a way to connect that.
Yeah, I know we love Harlem Nights. We might do a review on Harlem Nights. So that is our movie.
Clifford did say that his great granddaddy was over there. He got shot while he was shooting craps.
Yep.
So there you go. That's another one.
So I don't know if Ernestine is still having a dream, but in her dream, she kind of wakes up, kind of, sort of, and she sees this lady, which we later learn is her daughter, Beulah.
Clifford's mom.
Beulah. Beulah comes to her in a white gown and a martini. And it's interesting about that martini. That must be her favorite drink, because at the end of season 1, Uncle Clifford actually, she had fixed one of them and she tried to give it to Autumn and she ended up drinking it. So this peppermint martini, I don't know if it's a Manhattan or whatever, but it's her drink. And Beulah comes to her and says, "Mama, it's time to go home." And she's like, "No, I'm not ready yet. It's not time for me to go home." So it kind of alludes to the fact that she's not ready to leave Clifford behind, because I think that Grandma Ernestine knows that if she's not around, Clifford has nobody. And he doesn't have that club. He really does have nothing. So I think that a lot of what we're seeing with Uncle Clifford's behavior towards Autumn Nightmare is centered around the fact that if he loses that club, he loses everything that's important to him. And you know what, Jack? I'm gonna come off for Autumn Nightmare for a little bit, because she redeemed a few points. She redeemed a few points this episode, so I'll give her a little bit.
Nightmare. Hey, we got a Juan David Garcia here from DR. Welcome.
Yeah, that's my homie. What's up, Juan?
Welcome.
Well, hello, Juan. You know what, Xavier? I'm with you on that one. Xavier brings up a good point. Stars loves a good period piece. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a spinoff and do like a prequel to P-Valley. I would be here for it.
I would love that, actually.
I would love a prequel. I would definitely be here for it.
I would actually love that.
That would be dope.
That would be dope. You know what? And maybe if we had a spinoff, we can get some of these things that we would like to see that I don't think that we're going to get answered in this season. Going back to the families, I would be curious, not spend too much time on it, but I would be curious to know what happened to Uncle Clifford's mother. Because it seems unspoken of why she's unalive, and Grandma Ernestine is still here with us. So I am a little curious as to what happened to Beulah. And they haven't given us any plot points as to why she's not here with us anymore. But we also see that even at a young age, Uncle Clifford had always been part of that club. So that's part of his heritage. That's part of his history. That's all he knows. And it's probably safe to say that as he was growing up, that's probably the only job that he's ever had. He's probably always worked at that club. So that's been the means of his family's source of income forever. So him losing that is probably the only thing that he knows how to do. And we also, so did y'all catch that she called him Uncle Clifford?
Yeah, when he was younger, yeah, I caught it.
but I don't know if it's Beulah calling him Uncle Clifford, or if that's what Grandma Ernestine refers to him as, and it's her dream. It becomes Uncle Clifford. It was just weird to see that they were calling him that even at 3 years old. We switch back to present day. In present day, Uncle Clifford is at the club and he's kind of on the stage, main stage, and he's kind of reminiscing about all this. So, was it his dream or was it Grandma Ernestine's dream? So it could have been both of them sharing the same dream, because he seems to be reflecting on the after effect of that scene. And then Autumn comes in and, they start to have a discussion because they've been kind of bantering back and forth and bickering back and forth with each other about the sale of the club. And she announces to him that Promised Land has now presented her with an offer for $5 million. And she declined the $5 million and she's holding out for the 10. So what's your thoughts on that?
I think at least they was grown enough to sit down and have a conversation. I could appreciate that because Uncle Clifford said he thought of everything short of killing her. So
yeah, facts.
I thought that conversation was definitely something that had to be had. I don't know if she's gonna get that $10 million.
I think she's gonna get it.
I don't know about the $10 million.
I
think she'll get close.
I think she's gonna get it too.
You think that lady gonna help her get it? That what's the old girl name? As long as you ain't messing with her, Casina.
Yeah.
What is her name?
Georgie, wasn't it? Wasn't it Georgie?
I don't know, but you think she gonna have something to do as far as the benefits of her getting that $10 million?
Well, I thought she was the one that increased the offer to the 5. Is what I'm left to assume.
So if she increased the offer to the 5, but I could have sworn she said. But okay, so what was the original offer?
But you know what? It may depend on.
The original offer was $1 million.
Yeah, the original. Okay. Well, the original offer from Promised Land was $1 million, but Corin offered her $500K, and then he upped $1 million, and so now Promised Land has got the highest bid on the table. But it may also be dependent on whether or not that referendum passes, which we know it's going to pass.
Right.
I don't know. You're right. I believe Grandma Ernestine was in between life and afterlife. She was on the edge. She was on the edge.
And I think when they would say, "Come with me," that was her going to the afterlife.
Yes.
And she wasn't ready to make that transition, so she kind of just, pulled herself out of it.
One of the things that I like, and maybe it's the actress, but one of the things I like about Autumn is they really do a good job redeeming her. Even after she does things that we probably should be mad at her, we don't stay mad at her long. And so I think that she really wants to do the right thing. But she
like something Autumn did?
Something, so what?
I said you like Autumn's character, or one of the things that you like about Autumn's character?
I didn't say I don't like her character. No, actually, I really don't have too much negative to say about Autumn. She does some questionable things towards the family, but at the end of the day, I understand her motives behind it, which I was leading to my next point is, Autumn is not just doing this for Uncle Clifford, and Uncle Clifford has to understand that she has a vested interest in this. Yeah, the club was a place of refuge for her. She paid that debt when she saved the club from going up for auction. She paid her debt when she gave Mercedes that money to put down on that gym. She paid her debt when she bailed Mercedes out of jail. So she's done good things. So she's not totally a villain. And at the end of the day, she told him that, listen, I'm going to sell this club. So that's not for negotiation. I'm going to sell it. However, I'm going to make sure that you get what you need out of it as well. But I took the money that I was on the run with to try to save your club. But this was the money that I was going to use to start a new life with my child. But Uncle Clifford reeled her back in real quick and tell her, your child gone. But it still doesn't negate the fact that, listen, this is my money. Because keep in mind, she's a broken individual too. She came from no family. She had no family. She'd been place to place. So it could end up that Autumn ends up not selling the club and she takes up life here. I mean, she's been here longer than expected. So maybe Andre is going to be the catalyst that makes her stay and she takes up life anew here in Chucalissa.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen.
Hey, we got a question.
She definitely want Andre to shut her down. So
We got a question from Jonathan Ford said, so are you guys thinking she's going to return from the hospital? I don't think so.
No, she's coming back.
Think
She's coming
so?
back.
Yeah.
Loretta Devine is star power for this show. She's star power for this show, and we don't really have that much star power on this show, even though the cast is holding it on. They're holding it on, but I think Loretta Devine is star power. I think we'll have her around. I think we'll have her around. I mean, if they were going to kill her, they should have just killed her this episode. I would be disappointed if they did, because this whole thing about I'm ready to go home, no, I'm not ready, and she wanted to go down to the river and wade in the water. They should have just let her go on out. But I'm surprised with how many deaths we've had this season. You know, it's very surprising. I didn't think that P Valley would be so much centered around a lot of the characters dying off on the show, but it's very
and not enough if you ask me.
Well, the main person that we want on Alive is not.
Not enough if you ask me.
So to answer your question, Jonathan, I do think that she's coming back from the hospital.
Yeah,
I want her to come back, but I don't know.
I don't
you
think
don't think so, really?
I want her to, but I don't know.
Xavier, you coming through with the knowledge these last couple of days. They are both living for dead people, but I don't think that Haley's daughter is dead. I don't think that. Wouldn't it be interesting that if Big Bone had her? I know that's a stretch, but I think Montavious may have gotten to that child before that child, because obviously she thought Montavious was dead. He wasn't. I'm not until they show us that that child is dead.
Yeah, but she said she put the child in the car with her.
Yeah, and remember they got trapped in a flood or something.
Right.
And
she made it out.
Yeah, she made it out, but remember she said she searched for her that night and she couldn't find her. So that tells me right there that there is a possibility that she may. It depends on where the writing goes and how many seasons there are renewed. I'm a little irritated with Stars right now and kind of understand where 50 Cent be coming from when he's on his rants. This is a very good show, and some of these shows get renewed first episode for another season, like Force, for instance. Their very first episode, they got renewed for season 2.
I'm so over that.
Yeah, and we're at what, episode 7, and they still haven't been renewed for season 3 after a 2-year hiatus. Come on.
But if you notice, those shows, those are all under that Power universe.
Yeah,
that's fact.
Yeah, so their name is already kind of like stitched in gold.
I think that's what it was set up to design to make the viewers think, Jonathan, that she was saying goodbye. I think that for her to die and not have that moment to say goodbye to Clifford and give her final words of advice and wisdom to Uncle Clifford, I don't think they would deny us that, based on how close their relationship is. I can't see them killing her off camera, and I can't see them killing her without Clifford being there. I'd rather see Toy go before I see Grandma Ernestine go. I think we got some use for Grandma Ernestine because she may have some secrets that need to be revealed still in regards to this club and everything. There may be something that Grandma Ernestine is known to that could save the club.
I just thought of something you just said, Retro. That montage that they showed us, it establishes something. What if they're able to make the Pink a landmark? Then they can't tear it down.
That's a point.
I just thought about that.
I don't understand why Autumn is not pushing for the lease. I mean, she want that long money. I get it. She like them Kyle brothers. They wanted that long money. But the long game and the end game is, okay, we'll sell the club, but let's lease it. And that way you still own the club and you still get money off of the build of the casino, and you're getting a percentage of revenue off of the casino. So, I mean, you could really come out
because they don't want but they want empty land. When the brothers were leasing land, that land was empty.
Yeah, that's true too.
I think you know what I think though? I think the Pink might end up in a renovation. I don't think they're gonna completely destroy it. I think that the Pink is gonna go into a renovation state.
let's just be honest. It's time for the Pink to get a new look and a new feel. Because that club is falling down. That club is being held up by paper clips and tape and staples and a little bit of concrete. That club is barely holding on. It needs a new look. She said, "Grandma Ernestine gonna kill Autumn." She been saying it.
She been saying it the whole time.
Just kill bitch.
I don't think. No, I think she bought the.
Oh, Antoinette, that's a good point. Yo, that's a good point. So going back to Jonathan, if she does die, maybe she does leave enough life insurance for Clifford to still that's not gonna be enough to buy Autumn.
I don't mean no harm, but Grandma Ernestine ain't got $10 million in life insurance. Like,
we don't know this.
Yeah, I agree. No, she ain't had that kind of money. She ain't had that kind of money. Yeah, they wouldn't put that kind of money on the
club. She had some money hidden that she forgot about or didn't tell Clifford about. Other than that
could be a possibility too.
Unless it's in the TV, like on Soul Food, she ain't got it.
or in that club, or somewhere in that club. Y'all got some good theories tonight. I like that. We switched to Mercedes.
I don't think she bought under her real name though. Queen. No, Queen Essential said that Haley bought the club under her real name. I don't think she did.
She did.
Well, technically she didn't. Well, I guess. I don't know. I guess she wanted an auction, so I guess she would have bought the club. So I guess she would have been issued a deed. So I suppose so.
Yeah, she bought it in her legal name because remember when she bought the club, Montavious was dead. She didn't need to hire no more.
Yeah, I think they just still refer to her as Autumn Night because that's how she introduced herself to them.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah,
because Uncle Clifford will call her by all three of her names: Autumn Night, Lakeisha Savage, Haley Colton. She got 3 names.
He'll call her whatever he freaking feel like.
Yep. Uncle Clifford be coming through with them jokes though. It'd be funny. We switched to Mercedes' house, and she on the phone with that drunk ass Shell. And Shell don't even know how long Terica been there at Mercedes' house. So, I think this is Mercedes' opportunity to finally keep her child. Because I wouldn't send my child back to that drunk lady. Very interesting dynamics between those two characters. And I think it's something we've been waiting to see, that Mercedes and Terica interaction with each other. So I really appreciated that in this episode. You got Terica in her bedroom looking at herself in the mirror, showing signs that she's showing. Mercedes is kind of beside herself because she don't know how far she along. Terica don't know how far she along, and a decision needs to be made. Are we keeping this child, or are we going to go get some ice cream? That's what we're going to refer to it as. So Terica tells Mercedes that she is craving some ice cream and hot sauce, and she's like, "Oh shit, you are pregnant." And so she was like, "Let's go down to CBY." I ain't heard that ice cream line.
I ain't heard that place in a long time.
Me either. I didn't even know it still existed.
I was like, wait, the who?
You know what, Xavier, going back to that, you might be right about that, because remember when the sheriff was down to Mississippi House, he asked what Autumn's real name was, and she wouldn't tell them. She's not wanted for any charges, but she's considered a missing person because remember Montavious filed a missing person report on her, and that's when they put the flyers out and Maine saw her. So technically she could be in some legal issues with the authorities. Sorry about that. So she tells Mercedes that she wants to go get some ice cream. And so Mercedes is like, well, come on, let's go get this ice cream. Whatever the case may be. As they get in the car and they start riding, we see that Terica know every word to WAP. And she started down singing.
I wanted to whoop her ass while she was singing that.
And talking about somebody pull out game week. Obviously.
Obviously.
It's quite apparent.
That's where Mercedes should have bopped her in the mouth for real. She waited too long to bop her in the mouth. She should have slapped the shit out of her there when she was sitting there talking about some WAP. So they begin to have a conversation about the little boy. We find out the little boy is 14 too, and at least they didn't go down that same path that they did with Mercedes, where it was an older guy that got her pregnant. So at least she was impregnated by someone of her own age. But we start having a conversation about the risks that are associated with pregnancy. And she tells her that this could be a good thing, this could be a bad thing, but ultimately it's your decision to make. And so Terica's kind of in her bag a little bit because she feels ambushed being taken to the abortion clinic, and Mercedes not having that conversation with her. I don't necessarily fault Mercedes for that. I think she handled that very well, because she wasn't just going to see options about aborting the child. She was really more so concerned about how far along she was, what options did they have, if any, to terminate the pregnancy. So she didn't necessarily make the decision to keep the child. She didn't necessarily make the decision to abort the child.
Right.
What were y'all thoughts about all that?
I think that she was trying to keep her, I don't want to say protected, but at the same time, Mercedes was kind of, to me, thinking more about herself being in that situation. And I kind of gathered that from her having a flashback with her and Patrice in the club, in the restaurant, the little cafe. But I feel
John,
though,
we appreciate that subscription. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
I think she was more so. Thank you. I think she was more so thinking about herself, not Terica. I don't think she was thinking more so it's about Terica. I think it was more of a selfish act. Like, I don't want you to grow up like me. So if you decide to go down this road, it was more like you was trying to get her to lean more towards that way to abort the child.
I think, man, with this, I think the writer was just constantly identifying situational events that happens on a more day in, day out, more day in, day out situations, and kind of just putting it in front of the audience. The dialogue created between Mercedes and the daughter was needed because a lot of people don't really see that shit. They just kind of think that it's just bash when when a 14-year-old ain't pregnant, and considering that Mercedes already been down that road before, it made it more of a relatability thing that they could have that conversation. It was a teachable moment because Mercedes really ain't been there for her whole life, so it was a teachable moment that just kind of had to be had between the two.
There were so many scenes with this particular story arc. I'm just going to sum all this up in this discussion right here because I don't really want to spend too much time on this. I love what they did with this. I really love what they did with this because really Mercedes looking in the mirror and having the flashbacks and things like that of her relationship with Patrice is basically saying that you're heading down the same road that your mom went down with you. You need to do this a little bit different with your child. And that scene at the restaurant at the diner, we saw that Patrice was an ancient mama all along. All along. I mean,
I was confused by something.
Go ahead, because I was going to bring that up, so I know what you're getting ready to say. Go ahead.
No, I was confused. So she wanted Mercedes to flirt with those dudes to pay the bill. So it was okay for her to flirt with dudes to pay the bill, but then you lose your mind when you find out your child is actually having sex, or you feel like they're having sex. You have totally sexualized your child. What made you think
I was confused on that one too?
Next level, you know what I'm saying?
She objectified her child and had no problems or no qualms about her child being sold for a meal. For a meal.
She was just like,
at the Waffle House.
Go do that thing you do. Like, huh?
Yeah, like this is right.
I didn't really understand it either. And her reaction, furthermore, I didn't understand it either. So it's okay for me to pimp you out, but if you out here doing it on your own and getting money, because I'm assuming that if Patrice is pimping her out, she's reaping the benefits from that. But if Mercedes is getting it on her own and getting money on her own, then that's leaving her out of the cut. That's leaving her out of the flow. So I felt like her reaction.
That's exactly what Xavier just said. That's exactly what Xavier just said.
That's what I felt like her reaction was, more so that you getting money without me. you getting money, doing your own thing, you're cutting me out. So,
Right.
and obviously Patrice dried up WAP is not getting the bills paid. So she got to use her daughter's WAP to get the bills paid. So, I mean, she's an ain't shit mama, period.
Definitely.
That was very confusing to see her reaction to that. And then, you know, these visions and these sightings of Patrice is haunting Mercedes. And there's no closure for that. There's no resolution with that. Miss Honey is joining the panel, y'all.
Hey, Miss Honey.
What's up, Miss
Yo.
Honey?
How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
We can hear you. All right.
My
you must
apologies.
be getting ready to go out, Miss Honey.
Huh?
You must be getting ready to go out.
Mind your business. This is my everyday look. This is just how I am around the house.
Her WAP is dried up. Patrice ain't about what that WAP. What you call her, Dragon? Wait a minute, Miss Honey. You call her Pastor Dragon Woodbine?
Oh, I can't stand her. Oh, I can't stand her. When I tell you I hate Patrice the Dragon Woodbine.
That's her Woodbine.
Her Woodbine. Hey, y'all be dragging Miss Pastor Woodbine. And all she trying to do is provide a place where the blessings reside. That's all she trying to do.
She's so
not where the blessings reside, where the blessings reside.
She's evil, but I wonder if she's a formidable foe or not. Is she just this one-trick pony scammer type thing?
Well, with that being said, I do not think she's going to win this mayoral race. I really don't.
Right.
But I think she's going to create a lot of problems. I think she's going to be a formidable foe, but I don't think that she's going to ultimately win. Why they might fuck around and let her win for real. And then the casino goes away, period. And everyone is stuck with the club. That may end up being what happened, where we think that the club is ultimately going to sell. If Patrice wins that race, then she's going to sign that order that prevents the casino from being built in Chucalissa, and then everybody's stuck with the club.
This is facts.
So that may end up being what happens, is that they're saddled with it, and they may try to find a way to I don't know how you could overthrow a mayor. They may find a way to push it through even after her maybe go to the governor or something. I don't know. I don't get that far into politics, but they may find a way to usurp Patrice and get the casino to come through anyway. So we'll see how that happens. I did appreciate Mercedes' response to Terica's little smart comment about why no man don't want to be with her or whatever the case may be. She earned that slap. And, you know, Terica's a little bit hypocritical herself, because back in season 1, when her and Mercedes were having an argument after she had that bad bitch party at the house, and she smarted off at Mercedes that night and said that if that happened to me, I'd never give up my baby like you gave up me. But look what you just did to your child. You aborted it. So,
but that's not fair.
I know it's not fair. I know it's not fair, because I know that at the end of the day, she's 14, and the decision shouldn't be hers to make to begin with. I get that. I struggle with life and death where a child is concerned. However, when it's a child, bringing a child into the world, and you're bringing a child into an uncertain circumstance, I understand that as an option. I really do. Because all we're doing right now in this particular situation is repeating the same cycle that happened with her. She's going to have a child at a young age that somebody's going to take away from her, and she's not going to be able to raise this child, provide for this child. So, you know,
generational curses.
Well, yeah. But the product of a broken family. I mean, this is the consequences of her mother growing up broken, you know, and all the things that she struggled with her whole ass mama. So, you know, it's almost to kind of be expected, because you also have to see what Terica's going through at this moment. She don't really have anyone there to comfort her, and she even got comfort from her little boyfriend. You know, her mama that's raising her looks at her as a mistake, and she's drunk and falling down. She's having to go down to the church and get food boxes to feed herself. Her other mom is a hole on a pole. So, I mean, you know, she really didn't have too many. I know. It was a joke, because, you know, I love Mercedes. But she's a hole on a pole.
None of these things are irreversible. Okay?
You know what, Jonathan? That is a good point. Jonathan, that's a real good point. That baby was like super developed.
Yeah, that ultrasound was they dropped the ball on that because that was a full,
I agree,
developed baby.
That baby was due like the next day.
Yeah, for real.
I think that was a misstep, and I also think the condom thing was a misstep.
Why you say that, Miss Honey?
It just, I don't know. No.
Because she ended up getting pregnant with Terica, so she wasn't using no condoms to begin with. I thought about that too.
No. I mean, them showing such a fetus so far along. You know what I mean? Showing, like a like a 9-month. I'm sorry.
Right.
And the fact that the fact that Lil Murder and
Oh, okay. That condom. Okay, yeah. Okay,
I think those were two missteps, because it kind of threw everything off when you saw that grown baby.
The doctor mentioned she was what?
14 and a half weeks.
14 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, that baby was like, man, a good at least 28.
Yeah,
it was kicking and stuff, wasn't it? Like kind of like
it was kicking.
That's true, Deborah. That's true. That's true. And then you have to also look at where they're at. And the thing about it is though, especially back in the older days where decisions were made to take a child and give to someone else and let that person raise this as their child. So you had a lot of that happening as well. It kind of almost seems like that's what Patrice did with Mercedes. That she forced Mercedes to have the baby, but then took the baby from her arms and give it to someone else, or because Patrice could have very well kept her grandchild and raised it.
There's a lot of sister mothers out there already now. You know, we good for a sister mother thing. You know what I'm saying? You think that's your sister and that's really your mama. That's done a lot in our community, but Deborah's right. We don't adopt as much.
Yeah.
What
did y'all think about Terica's decision ultimately to abort the child? Do you think that she made that because of Mercedes, or do you think she truly felt like that was the best decision for her to make? And do you think that Mercedes should have allowed her to make that decision on her own?
Yeah, sure. It's a big decision. And she did what she felt like it was right for her. She said, what would think about Terica? What does Terica want for Terica? And if she's got hopes and dreams, it doesn't include a baby right now. I thought for sure she was going to keep it when she said, that's my baby. And you looked over and it was kicking and backpedaling and
yeah, I was like, wow, man, like I got
backflipping. It was
I mean, like, basically that's a little over 3 months. Man, like that baby.
And then she was showing like it was just
it was a big decision. That was a very
I agree with that. That was a huge decision.
It was a huge
But I also like that we got Deborah in this moment.
Deborah said that girl, I guess the actress that plays Terica is pregnant in real life. So that was her sonogram for real.
Awesome. Maybe that's why they had to accelerate the story, because it was like 1 minute she found out she was pregnant, then the next minute she's literally showing. Maybe that's why they had to accelerate that storyline.
Or yeah, because at this point we're thinking it's the next day, not days later, weeks later, right. 2 days at max. So yeah, you're right about that. Really, they did kind of just fast forward that story because she had just took the pregnancy test when she came over to Mercedes' house.
Right.
So
that was one of my issues.
It seemed like it was like the next day because the episode left off with her at the door with the pregnancy test. It was positive, and then here you go. When she spoke to Shell on the phone, we within a couple of days of her being over there and not being back at home, and now she's making this big decision. Like, okay, well, this is what's happening. So yeah, they fast tracked that to like straight to the future.
To the ladies in the chat and on the panel, and I don't know much about this because I don't have kids. So, is there a risk at childbirth for Terica being at such a young age? Is there a higher risk of complications?
It's always a risk.
Always a
Okay.
risk.
So even though the decision that was made is not a favorable decision, but in light of the fact that she's 14 years old, and there's so many risks for the child and her associated, I struggle with the idea of Mercedes allowing her to make that decision, but I kind of understand why. And I think we finally see in this moment that Mercedes is going to fight everyone off and keep her child. She's come to the realization, she's come to her resolve that my child is going to stay with me. I don't give a shit what nobody else says. And that's what she should have been done. And that's what Terica has been telling her. Listen, I don't care if you're a hoe on a pole or whatever. I just wanted my mom. And I just wanted to be with my mom. So regardless of what everyone else thoughts of you as being a stripper and this and this and that, at the end of the day, your 14-year-old child wants to be with you. It's a decision that she can help make for herself. You just need to push everyone else off to the side and be with your child. So I think that we're going to get Mercedes finally having Terica in her life. All right, so I think that clears up everything on that story arc. Little Murder is over to Uncle Clifford's house, sleeping on the couch, and we see that he's having thoughts about Big Teak, and how that ended up happening. He's grieving, and it's apparent that he hasn't told Uncle Clifford what has happened. And we also see that Uncle Clifford burned his clothes that night he came over there, or whatever. We also see in that moment that Little Murder hears Grandma Ernestine coughing. So he gets up and he goes to tend to her, and he fixes her a meal and feeds her a meal, and they have real tender moments. So it's very interesting to see that side of Little Murder and how he cares about Grandma Ernestine, how he looks after her. I really appreciated that scene, because a lot of people don't take care of the elderly like they should. Yeah. And it just put me back in my thought process of when my grandmother was elderly and sick and couldn't do for herself, and some of the things I used to have to do for her when I would go and visit her. So it was really nice to see that Little Murder had that respect for looking after the elderly. Grandma Ernestine also lets him know that she smelled death on him. And so that just kind of put him back in that reality of what happened between Big Teak. Where do you think that's going to go?
Can I just say something, please? I just feel like I need to say something here. I feel like we're glazing over something. Jay Alphonse is spectacular. I just want to put that out there. Okay, when she said, "I smell death on you," he had a mask on, you guys. The way his eyes just like glazed over and started filling up, I was like, it was everything. It wasn't, consonants and vowels. It was this moment. It was such a good moment. He has a ton of really good moments.
Yes, he does. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
I mean, we get so much range from him because the character that he's playing, and he's also playing a rapper, and then the ability to show emotion with body language, to act out a scene with body language without dialogue. That's great range. He has great range. He's a great actor.
I mean, and I think it comes from this really genuine place inside of him. He has such an authenticity about, I'm not blowing him up. I'm just telling you what it takes to give, to bring. It's so natural. It's so natural. You would have thought Miss Ernestine was his big mama.
Yeah. And the way he loomed over her and cared for her, yes, is like that was the most important thing in his moment. Yeah. Regardless of his grieving, because he got up out of his grieving to go see about her.
Yeah.
So that was
even the farce where she, you guys haven't gotten there, where she, and they go after her, and she's in that moment at the river. You guys haven't talked about it yet, so I won't talk about it, but that moment at the river, that was such a tender moment. I think this episode was supposed to be, I don't know. I don't know. I think it was maybe meant to highlight Clifford a little bit more, his side of things. But
Yeah.
I just think Jay Alphonse, the way he was acting, to me, he just outshined Clifford in this episode. Nico Anand is a good actor, but I'm just telling you guys.
But
It's
we
just
see
for
this with
me.
him in every scene that he's in. Every scene that Little Murder is in, we get this.
He elevates it. He
He
elevates it
elevates
just with
things.
those little
Because even his
movements.
moments with Keyshawn, even with his moments with Keyshawn, we see similarity of him caring about her, almost kind of like a little sister, you know. And so even when he got that call from her about Rome trying it, you saw the emotion in his face. It affected him.
Right.
And he wasn't there to do something about that. You could see his reaction to that.
Yeah.
So
That moment when they were on the Dirty Dozens tour, and I've said it before, and they were in that convenience store, and the lady the girl was thinking about pushing the button, to alert the police, and he walked up to that, and he said, "You all right? It's okay. It's all right." He had a mask on then, just with his
Yeah.
eyes, and she didn't push the button. He
Yep.
just has this way of elevating, and it comes across in the character. It comes across in the character, So I
and
don't
he
know.
portrays that level of calming and sensitivity very well. Even though he's supposed to be a thug, he's supposed to be a rapper, he's supposed to be a drug dealer and everything.
Yeah.
He still plays that level of sensitivity with people that he shares that side of his life with.
Right. And
But I
we saw
also,
that with relationship with Teak. He was very caring with Teak.
And calming.
Very calming, very
Yeah.
comforting, reassuring. Go ahead, really be. I'm sorry.
but I was just gonna say, and I always have a level of respect for a man who will play, um, a gay character amidst, toxic masculinity, homophobia, being put in that box, people not being able to look past that they are acting. So I just give an extra level of respect whenever I see like somebody that's playing a gay character and I find out that they're not gay, and I'm like, especially on a man. I do. I mean, it goes both ways for women and men, but it's extra when it's a man, because then you're like, wow, like you really are putting it out there, because a lot of men. I mean, there are men
But I
that
think that's why a lot of people are accusing him of being on the DL. I mean, I've seen quite a few like little headlines where people were like, "Oh, he keeps mentioning his wife every 5 minutes, trying to prove that because he's so authentic in how he takes on the character, how he emotes it, how he portrays it. I think it's easy for people to feel that way. That's how good he is. I believe he's straight. I believe he's straight. I believe he loves his craft, and I think he's just gifted like that, like full on. It's that convincing. People think he really is. I don't think that he is.
And he's a performer of the arts. So, he does
Yeah,
his
it's
music
not
and his song.
campy. It's not stagey. It's not. It's
It's organic.
believable. It is completely believable.
It's organic.
It's organic.
I mean,
Thank you.
with what really B said, I mean, I'll just in this perspective, I would say it like this: you can't win for losing. If he half-assed the role, then somebody gonna be mad and say, well, whatever they say. But because he plays the role so good, oh well, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
but
it's
when
like
you think of me, that's
it's like
just
you
good
can't win
acting.
for losing.
Yeah, like you said, it's just good acting. But I'm just saying, because of the society that we live in, I just got to give him credit. And even if he is bisexual, he is married to a woman, which means that is not the life he's leading right now, and he's married to a woman. So even if he is bisexual, that's still not where he is today. You know what I'm saying? That's not the life he's living right now. So he's absolutely married with kids. No, I'm just saying, if he were, it still doesn't change what I'm saying, in my opinion. But I agree. No, I know. I don't believe he's, because I mean, contrary to popular belief, men do it all the time, and people, straight men play gay characters all the time. So.
I just enjoy the craft. I don't even care. Like whatever. Long as everybody consents, right? Like do you? I don't have to answer for you, and you ain't got to answer for me. It's just the craft I'm talking about. The craft. Like he's got what it takes. I like it. I like it a lot.
So we switched to the grocery store, and it's Keyshawn, and she's out with her bigot baby daddy and the kids.
Oh, she's so defeated. Oh,
kill him.
Defeated.
I am so tired of him. She should have been screaming and hollering in that store for help. So they're going down the aisles, and he's trying to woo her over with moon pies and ice cream and soda. And like, do you see my face? I need a cold stick to put on this black eye that you got on my face. Like, you sitting here trying to act like everything is all good and we're one big happy family, and I'm sitting here with my face swelled up. She got that mask pulled all the way up to her eyes. I mean,
but he doing that talk with her though, pretty much. If baby is not gonna happen again, that he's trying to do it.
Yeah, he's trying to rally her up out of there.
Yeah,
That's
psychological manipulation.
He was about to blame. He was about to blame her for not forgiving him.
Yeah,
it's all your fault.
It's her fault. Your eyes bruised up and your face bruised up.
He about that close to just telling us.
Well, you know how you get me.
Come on, Keyshawn. I'm trying here. I was like, oh, it's about to be your fault, Keyshawn.
How you feel about Uncle Clifford, honey, is how I feel about this character right here. I'm ready for her to be liberated from this situation. We've had it far too long.
Well, shit, she got to be the one to liberate it.
I know that, but I'm just frustrated with this. I'm so frustrated with this because the message has been conveyed. Moreover, then we need to continue to see this abuse, and it's time for it to come to an end.
I think that's true too. I think she was making all the money and then letting him, giving it over to him. So yeah, Deborah, I agree.
Yeah, but she said that. She said that even in her flashback episode where she was working down at the Walgreens, 8 months pregnant. She's always provided. She's always been a provider. He's never worked in the relationship. So for her, it's a point of frustration for her because, like she told him in that last argument, I'm taking care of 3 kids and you one of them.
Hey man, if a man don't work, he don't eat shit. Damn that.
And then he wants to control how she earns her money because remember at the top of the season, he wanted her to stay locked up in her OnlyFans room and dance in there. He didn't want her to go out in the real world. So Abby has already sent the disconnection notice. She says she's going to deliver it in person. I'm hoping
I wish she hurry up. Damn.
I think we're going to get resolution this week. If we don't get resolution this week, it's going to be the season finale. Is where we're going unalive there. Let's just cross our fingers for it. So they're going up the aisle, and he made a comment to her about taking her down to the outlets to get some stuff for the baby or whatever, and she was kind of brushed it off like no. She sees Autumn at the end of the aisle. And so Autumn kind of like motions that she wants to kind of talk to her. So she tells Derek that she's going to go down here and get some more makeup to cover up all this. He's like, okay, I'll meet you at the register or whatever. That was just whatever. She gets over there and she starts talking with Autumn. And, Autumn pulls her mask down and see her face all bruised and everything. And they have a very tender moment, which that was kind of surprising because Autumn and Mississippi really didn't have any engagement. Other than when she gave her the combination and told her about that gun. That's the only interaction we've ever seen between Mississippi and Autumn. So that was very surprising. I don't know where Autumn was.
It wasn't. She was her savior and her help before.
But she brought it up in the grocery store. She told her, she said, I see you haven't used my gun yet.
Yep.
Oh, she helped her before. And that bonded them, just like what Diamond did to protect Keyshawn bonded them. Okay, Diamond's coming back into the picture. He can't let Keyshawn go in his spirit. Okay,
right. And they have a trauma bond. Like they may not have necessarily been friends. They both like she can relate to Keyshawn as a battered woman who doesn't know. Like when she told her the story at the end. Not to jump ahead, but like we always think we have to wait, we have to figure it out, we have to wait. Like, no, you don't. Like, you have other options and you can get out, but I think that's what it is. It's not about, they just got that trauma bond.
Yeah. Plus, Autumn is building an alliance. She got a plan. I think Autumn got a plan to be first lady of Chuckalisa.
That's what I was saying.
I
That's my
think she
theory
got a
too.
plan to be first lady of Chuckalisa. I think Andre's gonna win. I think Autumn gonna be his first lady, and because she tied to the pink like she is, she gonna be able to help them. They gonna be able to blackmail her. That's gonna be some antics, and she also gonna be front and center for the casino.
I think that what we're seeing here is Autumn is starting to really care about these people, whereas before they were a means to end for her, and she had little to no interest in their lives. But now that she's becoming more engulfed in their personal lives and their conflict, because even we saw that even last season when she went to Mercedes' rescue, where all her friends and everybody left her ass in jail, Autumn went down there and got her out. So I think Autumn,
this could really be something. This could really be a good opportunity for her. What's she running off to, except to get away from this whole haunted? Yeah, Montavious.
Xavier said you can't be the first lady to a married man. At best, you can be the second strong hoe.
Well, his wife is taking Georgia Dome to one of the doctors down to the hospital. I don't.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap.
I don't consider their marriage valid much longer. I think that those papers may have been filed already. The papers may have been filed already. Right. I do think that Autumn is going to be the one to kind of help Mississippi come up with that plan to unalive Derek. I don't know if she's going to kill him per se. She may set him up on some charges. I think Autumn is going to be a help aid to her.
No, he's got to go, boo. He's got to go.
He needs to be unalive. Period.
Yeah, I agree. He's got to go.
Unalive.
Because she made that comment,
he must die. If she's going to continue to live, he must die.
But because she made that comment about there's other ways to get rid of this problem, leads me to think that she may be thinking outside of the box on a way to get rid of Derek, because she sees that Keyshawn is struggling with wanting to kill him because of their relationship, because he's the father of her child. She's never going to be strong enough to kill this man. So we may get rid of him in another way, even though we all want him unalive. I think that there's going to be another way that we're going to see Derek go away. But I hope that he's unalive.
Me too. I want him gone.
I wanted Diamond to take him out. That's who I want to take him out. I want Diamond to take him out. Take him out of here for that gutter nigger comment.
I don't care who take him out, as long as he die.
He got to go.
And then lied about the comment when she asked.
Yeah. Uncle Clifford comes home from the club and the house is quiet, so he's immediately alerted and concerned because he thinks that a little murder has left, a little homicide. He thinks that little homicide don't left Grandma Ernestine by herself. And he goes up to Grandma Ernestine's room to find little murder is actually by her bedside. She's sleeping. He's checked her blood pressure. He's checked her fever. He's checked her blood sugar. She good. Let me take you down here and feed you. So I think this scene right here was an opportunity for them to try to rekindle. Little Murder's trying to find a way to apologize for his behavior, but he's also letting Uncle Clifford know that, hey, the reason why wasn't what you necessarily think. I've always been able to hide in plain sight, and I don't know how to deal with this situation because, I'm in this thing with you, and like Uncle Clifford told him, there ain't no hiding with me. There is no hiding in plain sight with me. So, you're going to have to come to terms with who you are. Why are you asking me who I am? Who are you? And he's like, what the world won't let me be. So, where do you think this is going to go? Do you think that Little Murder is going to give up his whole career and give up everything and just accept who he is? Is that what we ultimately going to see?
I don't think he's going to have to.
I don't know, because it doesn't seem like Uncle Clifford seems to be comfortable with being.
Juggernaut is the Undertaker.
I don't think
you don't have to.
I don't think Uncle Clifford is going to be happy with being a behind the scenes freak. You know,
I don't think. I mean, I think he gonna get pushback from his fans, no doubt. I think he gonna get some fans that basically, the whole.
Or it could blow his career up.
Uh-oh.
I think ultimately they'll be able to live out loud. I don't know if it happens this season. I don't know if it happens now.
I think so too. I think we still have a little bit more of that to go through before we get to a point where they're living out loud in their truth. I agree with that.
He's got to get back to the real world. Okay.
That's it.
This is the fantasy for him. Yes.
In the parlor, you can let your hair down, right? You can pucker, bend over and pucker it, right? Like he's in fantasy land right now. He's in this place of kind of rejuvenation. When he gets back out there, it's gonna be a different story.
And Wooda not gonna let that. What's his name? Wooda, whatever. He ain't gonna let that happen. They gotta remember he got a brand new song by Tina Snow that he gotta get out there and promote. They ain't about to let that happen.
Yeah,
that's true.
Clifford did say, "Take your time. Take your time."
And even in their moments, they have their discussions about the whole situation and where we're at and how we're living in this moment where, I shine so bright and I live out loud, that for me is a lonely feeling. So don't feel like you're going to take solace in the fact that if you come out, that you're going to be happy ever after. No, because even with me living the lifestyle I am and being comfortable in my skin, I still have a sense of loneliness. I still have a sense of not being accepted by the world, but doesn't change who I am. But at the same time, it's still a problem that you're going to be faced with. So don't think that just because these things are you see me live the way I live, that it is all peaches and cream, because it's not. He goes back to make up his sofa bed, and he gets his cell phone out, and he sees all the missed messages and text messages and social media tweets and everything from everyone trying to find him right now. Like, you blowing up right now. You need to get back on this tour. And he kind of, I'm not going to say he disregards it, but it's still an afterthought to him right now, because like Miss Honey said, he's basking in this moment that he lives in, and he's painting this fairy tale picture like this is how it's going to be. Uncle Clifford coming home, they sharing a meal together and all this. I'm taking care of
he's in the land of the avatars. He doesn't know. He's not.
Lori calls him and like, where are you at? Like, these promoters are trying to get you booked back on the Dirty Dozen tour. And, you got to capitalize on the fact that you got a hit song out here right now. Where you at? And,
and can he even go anywhere? Like, ain't he supposed to be in quarantine? Like, can he even go anywhere?
He need to be in quarantine, right?
Right.
Even though Uncle Clifford didn't give a damn, he out in them streets, but
COVID.
That was another.
Maybe that's what he's doing. Hey, really be that? Maybe that's what he's doing, hiding out at Uncle Clifford's house in quarantine. That's what he's doing. The conversation switches to about Big T. So, Wody went and picked him up and everything. And, Wody tells him that nobody came for him. Nobody from his family came for him, which that makes a little murder, a little homicide sad. And, he's like, don't put him in no pine box. I'm going to take care of the funeral or whatever. So we see that he still has to deal with that. He still has to deal with that closure and saying goodbye. And even in this episode, he was trying to find a way to tell Uncle Clifford about it, but Uncle Clifford, told him, take your time, tell me when you're ready. How do you think Uncle Clifford's going to react to that when he finds out, or she finds out about Big T? Do you think that's going to put them back on the outs again?
What?
His relationship and the feelings that he had towards Big T.
Oh. No.
Man, Uncle Clifford is getting sloppy toppy at his party.
Right, that's true.
But I also think that Uncle Clifford will understand this was before me. This was before me. Like, this was somebody that was a part of your life before I was. Like, I think Uncle Clifford's mature enough to not get, especially now that he's not even here no more. Like he not. I mean, no disrespect, but he's no longer a threat. He ain't even here.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
I mean, it could also open up the reasons why, you know, Lil Murda is the way he is, because it was before Clifford. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of that
And Uncle
happened.
Clifford got a soft spot anyway, so you know he probably be a little in the back of his head. He probably be a little upset, you know. But as hard as hers, he probably is gonna be like, you know, that was your friend. Y'all was like deeper than what y'all was doing, you know, and probably move forward from there.
That
They
better
go
not be the
downstairs.
storyline.
Yeah, they go downstairs and they discover that Grandma Ernestine is missing, and somehow she's managed to get out of the house. And her house, they found her house coat, they found her bonnet, they found her bedroom shoe, her house slippers, and you know she's ready to go get in the water. And she's like, Bueller's waiting for me, Bueller's waiting for me, or whatever. And once again, we see a tender moment with Little Murder because he takes her bonnet, he runs down to the water and brings the water to her, and that just relieved her and really comforted her. They get her back to the house and they send her off in the ambulance. And even when the EMS worker referred to Uncle Clifford as a he corrected him and said it's a she. So again, we see those tender moments where he has feelings for Uncle Clifford in his life and struggles, but the reality of it is you can't live in plain sight with this. So it's going to be interesting to see how their story develops going forward. I don't think it's going to end in a fairy tale. But they seem to ride for each other because even though Uncle Clifford was in his bag about Little Murder and everything, he still took him in and comforted him, gave him refuge, burnt the clothes up for him.
I mean, he still loved him. He was hurt, like he said. Like he said something about you being mad. He was like, "I'm not mad." He said, "I don't get angry. I just get disappointed." He was hurt.
Yeah, he did say that.
Never that he didn't love or didn't want to. He was always living in the reality that Little Murder wasn't living in. So when
that's
Lil
right,
Murder,
Mama G, he's a protector. That's right,
yeah.
And he seems to do that for everyone that is close to him in his life. He's a protector. I agree with that comment. So going back to Jonathan, I hope that Grandma Ernestine come on back. I don't want them to kill her off like that. If they write her character off like that, that's shitty ass right.
I don't think they're gonna write off, but I do think they're gonna give her. I do think they're gonna give her a death. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think it's gonna be just a phone call like, Grandma Ernestine gone.
No, I think we said goodbye to Grandma Ernestine, Grandmother Ernestine last week.
I'm gonna say this.
If you would have walked in Mississippi, it was gonna be goodbye because you ain't coming back from that.
Well, I'm saying this. Like I'm gonna say this. I don't want it to be goodbye, but it'll depend on how authentic they want to be to that era of our lives that was the height of the pandemic. Even though this wasn't at the height because this was after they were opening stuff back up. But remember, there were and not to be morbid, but there were a lot of people whose relatives went to the hospital and they never came out. They never saw them again. Because you couldn't go to the hospital. You couldn't visit anybody. And so,
wasn't able to have a funeral.
Wasn't able to have a funeral. That's a really good point. Really great point.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's why at the beginning I said I don't want it to be the end. But unfortunately, if they're going to be true to that era, that really could have been goodbye because realistically, they may not see her again.
And she did make a point to say she didn't want to die alone, that she wasn't coming back. She did say that when they was putting her in the ambulance, that I'm not coming back. Damn, I hope they don't do her like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Going back to one of the comments, I can't remember who said it, but Grandma Ernestine may have some money she's going to leave Clifford. I don't know how it may help him. It may help him, but I don't think it's going to help him save the club. I don't think it's going to be enough to help him save the club. But it may help him to get a new club. It may help him, through life, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be enough to save the paint.
And even going back to what you said at the beginning, Retro, when you were like, she didn't want to leave him. Like at the beginning, she was like, no, I'm not ready. because maybe she didn't want to leave Clifford by himself. But in her mind, he got somebody. He got murder.
That's true too.
He's not alone anymore.
That's true.
And he can smother a pork chop. Oh, you're gonna be just fine, Clifford.
That's big fact. I'm gonna leave you this little piece of change, and you got somebody that's gonna look after you right now. So you might be right, y'all. You know
this
what?
house, you'll be
I'll
safe
be the
in
first
this
time.
house.
I'm right all the time. I'm not right all
You'll
the time.
be safe in this house. You'll be safe in this neighborhood. When the ambulance came, they showed people standing outside. You know, ambulance ain't gonna come and people ain't gonna gather. And that's Miss Ernestine too. People know. Like, I'll be like, why little murder here? I'll be like, girl, you ain't see little murder over there, girl. I mean, people are gonna know. I just think that there's nothing he can do about that except walk in it as only little murder can. I think it's a missed opportunity. I don't think that's going to be their issue so much as what he's going to have to do to confront that. What he's going to have to do to really confront that head on and turn and make that decision that he just going to stand in it and live it is probably going to be a little tragic on some level, because I think it's going to go back to that guy who Pico, who came in the bar, right? When he came in the club and he got into it with Teak got into it, everybody, but
I was gonna say you got to be a little more specific. Now, but I know who you're talking about.
He's the one that kept hinting. He's the one that got put Rome on to what was going on with Lil Murder. Yeah, that was Pico, right? And then remember again in the parking lot, they got into it. Teak, and it was over.
Yeah, I definitely don't think we've seen the end of Pico.
Right, but what I'm saying is when he confronts Pico, it's going to be him confronting also this DL thing he's been comfortable with. But it's great, confront it, but I think it's going to be a little bit tragic for somebody. Because I saw like this gun, this thumbnail of like this. I don't know. It's gonna be bad. And remember, Murder asked Walter, who we gonna use for security.
Let me look out here on the media room real quick because they got some
photos.
There's
a guy with the gun.
Upcoming episodes. Let me see.
And I don't know if it's Walty with the gun or if it's Pico. Because Pico came in with two guys, but why would they show that if it wasn't a prominent character? So it's either Pico or Walty. But he's got a gun and he's got,
Okay, looks like we're gonna have Big Teak's funeral next week. Okay.
Next week, or you talking about Sunday?
Well, this week, yeah.
Sunday.
Tomorrow.
This is what I'm saying. He's gonna have to come out of Avatar Land. It's about to get real,
Avatar Land.
And it looks like he's gonna have some conflict with somebody at the funeral as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, look out there. It's going to be something tumultuous happen. That's why I don't think they're going to have time for Clifford to be upset with Lil Murder about Teak, because there's going to be bigger things going on between the two of them. Yeah. With Lil Murder.
The last scene is going to be something that I'm sure Jacka Jordans and Really B going to go back and forth a little bit on, consider the fact that they had a heated little debate off camera about it. Okay. Little Murder and Uncle Clifford decide to be intimate. And
make sure y'all see my face when I'm, what I'm saying.
Oh my God. How about you take it from here? I'm going to be in the neutral corner.
Nope.
I'm going in the neutral corner. They share intimacy. How about that? They share intimacy.
They have sex.
And it's a different way that they choose to share intimacy than we've normally seen with them. And it just further ruminates the fact that Little Murder definitely has a level of feelings for Uncle Clifford that he hasn't had or shared with anyone else. So it just further cements that Little Murder is really into Uncle Clifford. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
What do you mean share it with anyone else? Like the emotions?
Well, the act
Or
itself.
they did it before though.
Yeah, but he never has been shown as a bottom before. So he let
Oh, well, he done definitely been a bottom before now, because I'm telling you, it's not that smooth. Oh, your first go round, boo. He been a bottom before though. Just please understand that. That's all I'm telling you. Okay, it is not that gentle, boo. No, ma'am. I don't care how much loot. No, 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 no. He's been a bottom before, boo.
dead and died.
I mean,
Comments,
Only thing I said was
JLJ, comments.
only thing I
yeah.
said was it was a little cringeworthy.
What? Oh, cringe. You know, for
That's all I
me,
said.
it was
All I said was, how come whenever it's a male sex scene, it was cringeworthy? Oh, they doing too much. Oh, they was a little bit extra. Nobody said that. I don't remember anybody saying that when Mercedes was with Coach's wife. They had a whole
I
sex
called
scene.
Mercedes a hoe.
That's
Well,
not the
the
same
only thing I will
thing.
say to his
Calling her a
defense on
hoe
that,
isn't the same as
the
saying,
only
oh,
thing
it
I'm going
was
to say to his defense,
cringeworthy.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, Crystal, because you're right. The only thing I'm going to say to that is with the Mercedes scene in Farrah, it wasn't as graphic. It wasn't as graphic.
What was graphic?
And the
They did.
dialogue with it kind of
You
made it
didn't see, wait a
graphic
minute, hold on.
too.
There was
You know what
nothing
I'm
graphic.
saying?
You didn't see penis. All you saw was them kissing. Yeah, you saw the condom, you saw the lube, and that was it. And then you saw them acting. But
And the
with Mercedes, you saw
conversation.
breast. You saw her breast. You saw their ass all over the place. When Diamond was with
We saw ad. I gotta
when
look at that
Diamond
part
was
again.
with big body, full body, whatever the girl name is.
Big
We
Bone.
saw
No disrespect her.
we saw
Full
everything.
body.
But
Full
I
body.
didn't hear nobody saying, "Oh, that was too graphic." Oh, they did too much. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not passing judgment. I'm just saying because this is stuff that the internet's been doing that too. Oh, this. I mean, if you read the comments on the internet, and I'm like, but I didn't hear nobody saying that on any. The literally the beginning of every episode, there are naked women dancing on a pole for a whole 2 to 3 minutes, and I ain't never heard nobody saying they doing too much with these pole scenes. They getting a little out of control. No, nobody has a problem with it. Even when Uncle Clifford, when they had the moment when Uncle Clifford was on the pole, people had a problem with that. But we've been looking at a season and a half of women, titties everywhere, ass everywhere. Nobody had a problem. The minute Uncle Clifford get up on the pole with the chaps, now all of a sudden, oh, look at they doing too much. I'm just saying it's a double standard. That's all.
I think that's a valid point, really, B. I definitely think it was a valid point, and it was so eloquently spoken as well. For me, it's not about the sex. This scene didn't bother me because of the sex. The teak and little murder scene, I really didn't view it as sexual at all. Really, I looked at it completely different. So for me, I'm not easily shocked.
Trying to calm down his friend because he was angry, he was
Right.
irate, and it was him comforting him. It just
Right.
kind of, you know what? And Katori Hall does a very good job about that because her sex scenes, with the exception of Autumn and Andres, and maybe Mercedes and Farrah, I think the sex scenes that we're seeing are not necessarily depicted as a sexual act, if that makes any sense. I think they're depicted in a way that Little Mur was trying to comfort Uncle Clifford. And just like with Big Teak, the only way he seems to know how to provide that comfort is with an act of intimacy. And I think that's what we are seeing is intimacy used as a form of de-escalating or composure for someone who's in distress. Because it's not just a moment of lust. It's not shown as a moment of lust. It's not shown as a moment of passion. It's not shown as this hard down, gritty, dirty, nasty sex. It's shown as I'm going to comfort you through a sexual act. is the way
It was for me. I think it was supposed to give, and for a lot of people it did. It just like maybe it's just where you are or what you're looking for. I have very high expectations because we've been given so much, right? Like I had an issue with this scene because it didn't add anything. It really was just little murder needing comfort and little murder submitting. That's a position of that's a submissive position.
Well, in this case, both of them needed the comfort.
I was about
Both
to
of them
say because then it's like, to me it seemed like Lil Murda was trying to kind of be a comic relief at the time because Uncle Clifford was a little, he was pissed off, or he was going through emotions, an emotional roller coaster, and they did their thing, whatever. So I think they both just needed the comfort. So like the
but
act itself, I didn't have a problem with.
Yeah, it was just the acting. I don't know. We don't know any really good stuff about Clifford. You know what I mean? I don't know. The character is really not
I think
grabbing me.
the message that was trying to be conveyed with submitting to Uncle Clifford was that I trust you, and I feel like, because even without the condom, the whole point of not using the condom, I think it was a message that he was trying to convey to Uncle Clifford that I trust you, and you're safe with me, I'm safe with you type situation. And I'm going to make you feel good about what's happening with you right now. It's going to be okay. We're going to be okay type situation.
But I think we could have got all that without using graphic sex to convey that.
I agree with
to
that.
me is a cop out.
I agree with that.
And we didn't yield anything in way of Uncle Clifford had two really good moments when he said, "I don't get mad, I get disappointed."
Right.
Oh, I don't get hurt, just disappointed. That was a genuine moment. And then in the end, when he said, "Not now, when you're ready." When you're ready, when he said, "You needed me, I needed you," that was a moment. We could have had more of this texture, this intimacy without it being graphic sex. First of all, most of it is darkened out. Most of it is darkened out because Clifford is a big guy. It was, and I don't get that it's graphic. No, I don't think it's graphic. Obviously, it's not graphic. I just didn't want to poo-poo it for other people who are sensitive, really be. But you know what I'm saying?
I didn't think it was graphic. I mean, it was sex. I mean, honestly, like I said, I think what we saw with Diamond and Big Bone, I think was more graphic than what we saw with whatever the girl name is.
Full body.
I feel like that was more graphic.
That's her new name now, Full Body.
Right. She didn't change the girl's name.
Full Body.
Y'all know how I am with names, child.
Really, B? You're absolutely right.
She's 740. She's 740.
And they did have lube, Xavier. Calm down. They had the lube, child.
You're absolutely right, really, B.
But Xavier be wilding.
But in that scene with Big Bone and Diamond, we learned that Big Bone is she a rider, you know what I'm saying? You can cool, smooth, wipe your feet on her, and she'll take it like a champ, right? Like we learned that. We learned about hexes and DNA and all of that. That was a very rich scene. That was a very rich scene.
You have people that live by that. You have people that live by that. You got people that believe in that root work and that stuff like that. And I'm not gonna leave nothing around, so won't put a spell on me or a hex on me. Hags and stuff like that.
It just felt more authentic.
It did. And that's why I don't understand why nobody from this show, none of this cast has been nominated for any Emmys.
I think they fell short of nominations, right? Really?
I don't know. I'll be honest.
You know, I think you have to.
Because it happened with it happened with Power a few times, so it's.
Oh, you have to be done with filming like at a certain time to get the nominations in or something. I don't know. That's what I heard.
But the writing is really it's really good. You know, we have some things in this season that kind of like ugh. But overall, the storytelling, it takes me back to Nikki Gilbert's claims that they stole her ideal or whatever the case may be. I think Katori Hall is doing a very good job telling her version of this story. I just don't really think I don't think they stole that idea from her. I mean, it's a pretty common theme to do a show about a strip club. I mean, I'm sure you're not the only one. I mean, we had the Players Club. So you're not the only one that's had that idea about doing a series or a movie about strippers. I mean, we had it with Striptease. I mean, this is not the first idea.
Go ahead, keep going. We know all the stripper shows.
Hustle, don't forget Hustle.
Hey,
Ronnie, don't talk to me, Ronnie. Ronnie, don't talk to me.
Keep going.
Talk to him nice, really good.
Both legs don't get fed. At least I ain't call you Ebony.
Don't do him like that.
Shut up! Don't do me like that. That's right, JOJ. Tell her.
Talk to him nice. Talk to him nice.
But those were really good moves. We had really good storylines.
Don't be trying to get in good. Don't be trying to get in good. You still in trouble, Juggernaut. Don't be trying to.
You still gonna get the papers. You gonna get them papers tonight. Yep. But overall, guys, I really do.
My papers coming to my email.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it through the group text for everybody to see, and then I'm gonna send it to you for e-signature, so I can go ahead and put that in your file.
Oh, you typed them up already?
Yeah. We got your PIP coming to you, sir. Autumn and Keyshawn scene. What did y'all think about that?
That was the best scene of this episode.
I wish they would have explored that a little bit more. I wish we would have
me too.
Time on that.
That was deep. That was
deep.
That's all I'm saying.
More time in this episode with that.
Yeah.
Because when she brought her that phone and she had that, and she told her that she was telling the baby that story, but she really was talking to Keyshawn about what happened that night. She was a survivor of domestic abuse. And she's sitting here telling Keyshawn that if you don't make a decision soon about getting yourself out of the situation, you're not going to make it out. Yep. And so she's trying to tell her
the ultimate sacrifice is going to be your kids.
Well, yeah.
Maybe that's the message she was trying to send.
Because remember, she said she kept taking her tears and putting it in the garbage bag, and then when she dumped the garbage bag out, her tears drowned her daughter.
Yeah, it was a river for her, but it was death for her daughter.
So you know what? That may end up happening to Keyshawn. That may end up being
that
what
was
happened.
The point of her.
No, I'm saying maybe what's going to happen is Keyshawn going to lose one of them kids behind.
Oh no.
You don't think so?
I don't like that. I don't like the thought of that.
I don't know. I mean, he already beat him.
No.
I just think it was the warning. I think because remember, Keyshawn was like, if you beating me, that's one thing. But when she found out he was beating the kid, which I still don't understand how she was able to walk out that doctor's office with that baby. But that's another conversation for another day. But at the end of the day, women and men who are in those types of situations, they won't do it for themselves, but they'll do it for their child. And I feel like that was Autumn's way of saying, listen, I'm telling you where this goes.
Miss Deborah, you saying Keyshawn dies in the play?
Well, that's if you're going along with the play, Carl.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And I can see that happening, Keyshawn dying.
I hope that doesn't happen.
But not this episode.
I'll be very disappointed with that because I want Keyshawn back doing her pole work. I don't need her to leave here.
That is so selfish.
That's not selfish. I want her to leave for other reasons.
I don't want her to die because I need her back on that pole.
Hey.
Keyshawn will be a good personal assistant to the first lady, Chuckalisa.
Yep. Okay, who wins this race? Because we see Patrice is on TV with her
I think
commercial.
Andre gonna win.
I hope Andre
Yeah.
wins. I don't want
I
Patrice
think Andre
to win.
wins.
I don't think Ho Woodbine winning.
I don't know. Hope Woodbine got them churchgoers though.
She ain't got that. Her congregation ain't that damn big.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, the people that she's fleecing are already so poor. She's really just getting blood from a turnip.
And
Her
that's exactly
becoming
what she's
mayor
doing.
is
She's
going to
fleecing.
position her to really rob the city of Chucalissa
Xavier, I think Andre is gonna
blind.
divorce his wife, man.
No, I think his wife is going to divorce him.
Yeah,
them papers.
her
He's a
family have
lawyer.
already
Them papers
served
were
him
filed when
papers.
he was
All
on
he
his
got
way
to
back
do
to
is sign.
Chucalissa. He filed them
Right.
papers on his way
Them
back to
papers,
Yeah.
them papers been filed already.
Yeah, them papers
Yeah, they
filed.
ain't arguing over nothing. Everything was hers.
And he got a house already because God Daddy left him a house. So yeah.
God did left from my
Yeah.
house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah.
Something else you gonna be you being given.
Yeah.
Get to work,
true.
Andre. Get to work. We ain't seen a lot from Andre this season at all. Just a little bit here and there. This is the same thing they did
And
last
you know
year.
what I feel
We saw
like?
his
Last season.
team.
But you know what? I feel like
What you say?
I feel
I
like
said we
Autumn
saw
is-
his team.
I have not seen. I did not see that. I did not see
Oh, wow.
his, and I did not see the man that was getting Georgia Dome up in Atlanta. The only one I saw was the one that was in the portal to hell room with roulette. I didn't.
Baron
I missed it.
Dormammu
I'm telling
lives
you, I
in that
really do
room.
not be focusing on these sex scenes like that.
Baron
I really.
Dormammu lives in that
Everybody's been talking about they
over the hill
showing.
room. Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That room do
And
look
the
like
thing
it's
about it is, I described Andre in my review, not even having seen him. So I wonder if my description was right. I need to go back and look.
I don't think
Because
it's
you
his
know
real
he tall
food. I
and
think it's
slender.
prosthetic,
He
so it
tall
don't
and
matter. It's
slender.
prosthetic, so it don't matter.
So I'm just saying he tall and slender. So when you tall and slender,
What?
Which is another double standard. When they show the peen, then it's a prosthetic. But when they show the women, it's they real titties. I'm just saying.
Hey, see, Retro.
I don't know. Maybe some of these women are prosthetics.
So
Maybe
what?
some of these
I
ladies
said,
are
didn't they jump on
prosthetics.
your case once before about this?
I don't know where Miss Honey and really is going right now. I don't know what they talk about. They just
I think
Oh,
some of these
let
women
them
are
have their moment.
prosthetics. I
Let
mean,
them have
breasts
their
are
moment. We talk
I'm
about
not
their
even. What
pole.
do you
We
mean?
talk about
I
the
ain't even
pole
doing
work.
nothing.
We talk about the Mercedes experience and everything. So let them have their moment. I'm not bothered. Let them have their
I'm about to
moment.
say I didn't even do nothing. What I do?
hey Jack, what you got on? What them kicks look like today?
He got them Gucci loafers on. I told y'all that yesterday. He got them Gucci. That's what he wears to work. He got that Gucci. He got them Gucci loafers on.
I am currently at work and working very hard, sir. So I do not have on any fly kicks.
But
you have on Gucci loafers. You're at the desk.
he does.
He does.
I know he does.
Yesterday, yes. Today, no.
Mm,
Are we talking about lipsticks?
mm.
They
I
saw their lipstick off yesterday.
just have the same one that I had on yesterday, but I will say this. Juvia's Place is having a flash sale today on lipsticks, so y'all better get most of my lipsticks come from Juvia's Place. So if y'all like my lipsticks, that's where I get them from. They're having a flash sale. Get on over there.
Yeah,
So
she
those of
texted
you
me
that are-
earlier. Juvia texted me earlier.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Miss Honey,
Let me
your
know.
lipstick for this night.
Oh yeah, it's the same one I had on yesterday. Check those nails though.
I like your nails. I'm about to say I like those nails. I gotta go get mine done.
Keep her nails. She made sure she got that.
Hey, Jug, her nails match your shirt.
Yeah.
I gotta go get mine done before my trip. I'm gonna get them done next week.
You know, I do them myself. I taught myself during COVID.
Back on another trip. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Back on another
Yeah,
vacation.
yeah.
Oh,
Back
like
to
I
another
started doing my makeup during COVID. I get it.
Back
Yeah.
to
I
another
want to say
sunflower.
before you get started running Really Bee's life, Retro, Juggernaut, you look really, really good, and it's so good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay,
I
go
was-
ahead and start
I was-
chastising your daughter.
I
I
was
wasn't going to chastise my daughter. I wasn't going to chastise my daughter. I was going to let the gang out here know that those of you who are new to our channel, so we have a little segment where we always talk about kicks and sins, and the ladies like to talk about their makeup and their lipstick.
Lipstick and laces.
Yeah, lipstick and laces is what Miss Honey calls it.
Y'all want to see my? You want to see my fly kicks?
What you got? What you got? Come on, show it to us.
Sure.
I'm joking. Y'all know I got on my damn slippers.
Damon doesn't want to show off his Gucci loafers tonight, so let me see. Kicks for tonight are champagne.
Champagne.
Oh wow, they're so shiny.
Nice. They glow in the dark too, Miss Honey.
But listen, you're touching the bottom. Have they been outside today, or are you just wearing
He
them
didn't
around
already
the
wipe
house?
them down. Listen, they didn't already been wiped down.
The bottom of the shoe never stays dirty. No. So that's the kick for today. Scent for today is something different. So we're going to do Roses on Ice by Killian. It's
I got that though.
Soft... Of course you would.
What is it?
I got that though.
What does
I
it
am
smell
wearing
like?
YSLY.
What does
Okay,
it
which
smell
one?
like?
Great.
Which one? The
Long
Elder
lasting.
Parfum, the Elder Parfum, or the Elder Toilette?
What
I got
what
the
are the
parfum
notes?
Okay, so since my bro's at work, so Jack and Jordan's is wearing the YSLY, the parfum, and I got the Killian Roses on Ice. So
I want
ladies,
to know
the
what the
unisex-
notes are in the Roses on Ice. Can you explain it? Can you explain the scent at all, or you just know what you like?
Rose, obviously. Maybe a little cedarwood. Predominantly rose. It's a unisex scent, so we both can wear it, and it smells different on a man than it smells on a woman. Maybe
so
even
you
just
can
a
give me
little
some?
bergamot. Can we get
Can you give me
some?
some?
Slow down, really be.
That was-
Slow down, really be. Let me
Right,
do
can you
my
go
thing. Let me do
some?
my thing.
Wait a minute. Stop,
Don't
press,
go-
hold, rewind. I've already sent you perfume, ma'am, twice.
Not twice.
That was
I
Hold
have
on.
not received.
Oh no,
Twice.
you're right. You're right. No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Oh, wow.
Gucci Bloom,
Oh,
Gucci
wow.
Bloom, and your Rihanna Fenty. I've sent you perfume twice.
That is okay. Why you can't do it 3 times? Like you act like you can only do something twice. What the
Miss Honey hasn't gotten even one. If
I
anybody,
got you, buddy.
I mean,
I got some
really be the way you just swooped down in there and tried to take my blessing, knowing that you had 3 or 4 previous blessings.
Oh, yes.
Will you at least send me the name of that, the one you described, the notes that you described? I want to see if I can find a sample.
I got you. Saks Fifth Avenue. I got you.
That's where you get it from?
Mm-hmm. This is where I got this one from.
Okay, let me write that down.
The Killian Looker line. So they have a Looker line. So all the Looker line bottles are kind of like this, like drinking glasses. All of them good. The apple brandy is really good. There's another one.
Are we talking about alcohol or perfume? I mean, a cologne. What are we doing?
No, they're cologne, but it's the Looker line. So all of the scents are kind of centered around like the apple brandy has kind of like a little hint of brandy smell to it. There's one that has the gin in it. I'll send you the list.
I'm sorry, which one are you talking about?
What's the other one?
CD?
Are you comfortable telling me the price point? Are you comfortable just giving me ballpark?
$285.
That's not bad.
100 mil.
Wow.
Yep.
So I mean, of course y'all know who Kevin Samuel is, but that was like one of his like favorite ones that he said was like a killer. And like he goes like into deep details of the notes.
First of all, Jack of Jordan's, I don't want you over there, okay? Those people are filthy, and I don't want you to come back with fleas. I don't want you over there. I don't want you hanging with those kids. No.
What kids?
over there in Kevin Samuel land. I don't want them to get their stink on you, Jackie
That's what
Jordan.
With all that expensive cologne he wears, you don't have to worry about stink coming on him.
Oh. Yeah, it really sounds pretty interesting though. And just imagine what it would smell like on
I
me,
knew that
a
that's what
woman,
you had on.
with a warm body heating it up. It sounds like it would be slamming.
You know what?
Yeah.
It really is, and it's great for a summer scent. It's great for a summer scent. And the notes are not so strong, so it doesn't overpower you. But the performance on it, I would say, from 6 to 7 hours performance.
Really?
You know how much you spray on, and where you apply it at.
It lasts all day on her.
Yeah, it really does.
Oh yeah.
The scent, it just depends. Like, on me, it comes across very masculine, even though it's very strong on the rose side. When you apply it on skin, the rose is almost could be like a little bit of citrus as well.
The dry down is fire. The dry down is lit.
It smells nothing like how it smells when you first put it on.
Wow.
Yeah, the dry down.
And I'm not one of those that are overly, concerned about wearing fragrant scents. Because just like with the Baccarat is like that. It's very fragrant. But the dry down on it as well is really good. This one is just a very strong scent, especially the extract is a very strong scent. You cannot spray a lot of it on because it will overpower everyone in the room.
The silage for the Baccarat is like it radiates, kind of.
Yeah.
Like you can smell it anywhere. Like you could be in the middle of it could be in the middle of a park or something, and you're gonna be like, somebody's wearing Baccarat. I've done it plenty of times.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I went to the Kroger. Okay.
The candle performs like that too.
It's got a good throw.
Oh God, yes. It will light the room.
JOJ, I go to the Kroger. I'm in the produce section. I got my mask on, okay, but I've got keen senses. I got a fierce palate too, but I've got keen senses. And so I smell something. It smells so good. This guy walked behind me and he had a little baby. And I walked up to him. I said, "Excuse me." He didn't have no mask on, and neither did that little baby, but that's neither here nor there. I said, "What is that cologne?" And he said, "Baccarat."
You can smell it.
Smelled so good.
Ever.
But not like the Africans. It wasn't like thick. Like it wasn't like it was just you put it really on, perfect.
It will perform totally different than what it does on us. It's a unisex as well. And when you wear it in combination with like the lotion as well, it's really good.
Yeah, my mom got me doing that, wearing men's colognes and scents and stuff, and I've never gone back. I've been doing it for years.
All of the MFK fragrances, they perform like that. They're bomb. They're bomb.
You know what you should do, Retro? You should do you guys should do your top.
They did. They did one. They
you hear that, JOJ? Do you hear what Miss Honey just said?
What were you saying, really?
But I was saying they did one, but they kind of fell off. But I was saying the last cologne that I bought was actually I bought the men's version of the Tiffany & Company With Love, because I like the men's better than the women.
Oh, why you get him started? There it is.
There it is. Metro shirt.
And I got the men's.
I know you got the men's version.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey,
so me and Retro supposed to be doing FOG for the longest. We both had got it around the same time, which is good for great around the same time, and we haven't yet.
Well, maybe you can make it a segment.
This is unisex too, isn't it? This one is unisex too. Isn't it?
I said,
I don't know if that was unisex. That Nisha Nated I got is unisex. And that shit is woo.
All right, well, I gotta get ready to go, y'all.
What you say you pulled out today? What you say your scent of the day was?
Who, me?
No, Jack.
He's wearing YSL.
This one?
Yeah. Oh. No, he's got this one.
That's what I got.
He got this one.
I got the parfum.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
my
so
center,
executive
ET,
suite.
but I'm telling
well,
you.
my center today is soap because when I came home.
Hey, well, you know what? We giving you a pass on that because I
Miss
saw
Honey,
When
you
I
got
came home
Miss
today,
Honey don't gave us a
Talk about
homework
it
2
the
nights
day.
in a
when I
row.
got home, I jumped in the shower and
My
threw on
favorite
some
day is soap.
lotion.
She said it's soap.
Hey, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at you.
Because I was like,
Look,
I'm not going anywhere.
hot
Like, I ain't going
outside.
nowhere.
It's hot
This
outside.
not television. Y'all can't smell me through the screen. So
I
Miss
just know
Honey's giving us homework 2
Hey,
nights in a row, so we got to work on sneakers
that's
for
cool.
her
I'll give you a
and
pass on
scent
that.
for her. So we got you, Miss Honey.
I
We
need a
got you.
and you can go
comprehensive
ahead and
list.
get me one of those roses and put
Get
it in
you
the mail.
nothing. Get you nothing. You got enough. Miss Honey ain't got nothing. You get nothing.
Wait a minute, hold on,
Miss
whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute, hold on.
I give you my wife
Miss
page.
Honey's blessing don't have nothing to do with my blessing. I can
What?
get my
You've been
blessing.
blessed already.
I
You've
know,
been
but
blessed.
wait, it's nothing wrong with being doubly, triply, quadruply blessed.
She said triply.
Where the blessings reside.
With a blessing, right? With
Where
a
the
blessing
blessings
reside.
Well, let Miss Honey get her blessings then. Miss Honey, I
As
got
long
you.
as it
I don't
doesn't
wanna
affect
take none of her
mine,
blessings.
I think you guys should have at it. As long as it doesn't affect my blessings.
She get
I
plenty of
want you
That's
to
what I'm
let the
saying.
Lord
I don't want to
lead
take
you.
nothing. I don't want to take none of Miss Honey's blessings.
Yes, let the Lord lead you, Retro.
I
Okay.
got
It said,
Not
let
that
the
the
Lord-
Lord leads
Next
you.
time I go back to the store, I got something special for you, Miss Honey.
We'll
Yeah.
talk backstage.
I don't think
Again.
for 1 minute really B is going to be suffering, even in the slightest, if you
Oh,
bless
she got
me.
plenty. She's got
She
plenty.
she's you keep her fattened up. She can eat off what you've supplied her with.
Yeah,
I
she good.
mean,
She don't need nothing else. She good. She got plenty.
That's
baby,
not
some
true.
of
Wait a
you
minute. Whoa,
spoil
whoa, stop.
sometimes, though.
Hold up.
I
Don't say
disagree.
that. Don't say that. I don't need nothing else. What the hell?
Anyway,
I don't
guys,
think he
we'll be
means
back
it, though,
Sunday.
honey.
We'll
I
be back
wasn't
on
convinced.
time
I don't
Sunday
think
for
he means
P
it.
Valley. We'll be back at our regular scheduled time on Sunday at
I
12:30.
don't think he means it, honey. I don't think he didn't seem convincing to me. Look at that executive.
Oh my God.
Take
Good night, y'all. We'll see y'all Sunday.